Life is full of great questions. Are we alone in the universe? What is the purpose of life? Is cereal soup? And who would win, 100 men or one gorilla? Today we will take one step closer in answering these inexorable questions as we take on 100 men as a humble gorilla. Welcome back to the Studio Ardia channel, where when it comes to board games, just because you can does mean you should. I'm your host Jared, and today we're going to be testing a game about 100 men facing off against a gorilla, but this time you play as the gorilla. So let's jump over to Tabletop Simulator and see what I've done. Okay, here we are again. Tabletop Simulator. You wanna know how bad I am at this? This is my third time recording this gaming bit because of different audio issues I've had with making these recordings. But you know what? We're learning, okay? So here's the game. You're in this jungle. You're a gorilla. There's these little enemies coming towards you. Basically, you have to progress through different levels with different layouts, fighting more and more enemies each time until you fought a total of 100 enemies through various levels. You control your gorilla by drawing tokens from this bag, which have different types of tokens. Let's see if we can get all the different types out here for demonstration. Alright, perfect. That was a really lucky draw, actually. You've got attack tokens, which of course deal damage. You've got bananas, which help you heal. You've got these ones, which are movement. You've got these hands, which represent blocking. You're able to block incoming attacks and block enemies from moving. And then these are the all-important ones. These little stop signs are your exhaustion. So basically, your main disadvantage as a gorilla fighting a whole bunch of humans is that you're gonna get exhausted over time. And so the more tokens you draw from your bag to try and attack and move around, the higher chance you're gonna have of drawing these tokens. And once you've drawn 2 of them, pretty impressive that it was actually the last token in my bag. Once you draw 2 of them, then your turn ends and you have to skip your next turn in order to rest. So basically you want to be able to take as many actions as you can, but you want to avoid getting exhausted. So there's a bit of a risk and a strategy there. And that's about it. Over here covers our enemy behavior. And so the yellow enemies have 3 health and they will move towards you 1 space per turn. Red enemies have 4 health and will move 1 space towards you per turn. And then the orange enemies have 4 health and will move based on a dice roll. And these enemy behaviors will vary with the different levels, just to keep things interesting, to keep you on your toes, and to make future levels more challenging. So enemies might move more than once, or they might be able to attack for a higher damage rating, or things like that. And then here we've got our some things with the upgrades. As you can see, there's a matching star here on the map. So as you collect stars, you get these. First star gives you this, which is upgrade 2 tokens. The second star gives you an ability card. Unfortunately, the map that we picked, that we randomly picked for this first level, does not have 2 stars, so we can't get an ability card, which is really quite unfortunate. But some maps will have 1 star, some will have 2, and each one's going to have a different layout with different obstacles and different items as well. And that's pretty much the basics of the game. So let's jump in and start playing and see if we can survive and level up our gorilla. So let's shuffle up our bag. So for those who maybe aren't familiar, this core mechanic is called bag building. course, we drew exhaustion on our first draw. Classic. Basically, it's similar to deck building, where but instead of cards, it's tokens. So each token has an action that you can play, and you draw them randomly, but rather than from a deck, you draw it from a bag. However, in this, it's a little different because you can draw and play as many tokens as you want. But as I described, there's a bit of a risk element the more that you go on your turn. And yeah, so if any of you played games like Quacks of Quedlinburg, it's very similar to that in that way. So basically the gameplay is pretty simple. You just draw and play tokens, but then the strategy comes in as you try to build your bag, try to get more tokens, get better tokens, etc. So starting off here, so once you've drawn your tokens to your satisfaction, you can play them in any order. I like to put them in a little line so that I know what order I'm going to do them in. You use each one once. And so I'm going to attack this one, and then I should have put the 2 first so I could move past him. I'm going to move 1 and then 1, 2, and here, because my first goal is to go get this log so that we can get past this channel and get the star. And that will conclude that turn. Enemies will move towards us. You go in the order presented on the card, and you start with enemies closer to you. Simply, just to give some order to it. Here we'll move. And when you're moving the enemies, this of course will all be explained in a rule book, but basically you look at the triangulation of the path. So this enemy moves, or would have to move 3, and then 3 this way, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. So they're going to move on the shortest. Actually, they don't have to move 2 to the left. They're going to move on, not the shortest, the longest, sorry. They're going to move along the longest path as long as they can in order to progress closer to you. In this case, he's got a pit, so his next turn he'll move this way, but yeah, let's keep it. That's a simple explanation of how the enemy. So level 1, this guy moves on a dice roll. Up is 1, 2, 3, so he's going to move down. Now it is our turn again. You get in a pretty good rhythm with moving the enemies. It does seem a little bit complicated, but it's not. Shuffle it up. And wow, we are on a rough streak. Hey, lots of movement though. See, there you go. So we took too many actions and we got exhausted. But we still get to play out this turn. So we do 1, 2, 3. Order doesn't really matter, obviously. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna try to move towards the log and try to distance myself from the enemies because they'll now have 2 turns to attack and move. This is not looking good, guys. 1, 1, 1, 1. These vines, as you can see, they have like thorns and stuff. So anyone, including you, that enters the vines takes 1 damage per turn. So again, we'll mark the damage with that. Red will take a turn, and then orange will take a turn. 4. Moving away. He's moving away. I don't know where he's going. Then, because we got exhausted, everyone will take a second turn. And so this one will hit us, this one will hit us. Thankfully, the enemies cannot attack diagonally, but your gorilla can. So that gives you a little bit of a leg up in fights, but you still take 2 damage. This one, he's not going to move. He can't move it diagonally, and he's not going to move here because he'd technically be going further away from me. So this one will move here. This one will move here. And we are utterly surrounded. What I meant to do, I meant to put this. Of course. Even he's trying to join in on the fun. We gotta really hope that we get some solid tokens this round. Let's shuffle it up. And okay. Better. I'm gonna keep going. There's only a 1 in 7 chance of drawing that. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Quit while I'm ahead. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move as much as I can. And then damage, and then block. And I'll show you how this is gonna play out. So I move here, I get my log. And I'll move back, I'll move 2. So if I have a 2 or higher, I can actually move past enemies without damage. And then I'll apply 2 damage to this enemy, which will defeat him. Then I will block this enemy. So in this case, so the block basically stops the enemy's next turn. So that it will stop them from attacking if they're next to you, or if they're not within range, it'll stop them from. And we put that there just to indicate, but we'll get that back as soon as the enemy's turn. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do the enemy's turn actually. This guy can't move. This guy will move closer to us, closer. You guys can't get any closer. And then roll for 4, or roll for orange. And wow. Right into the vines. Not very smart move, my guy. One thing to note is the level ends when you've defeated all the enemies, because that's sort of the objective of the game, is to fight 100 enemies. So you want to make sure you try to get your stars and anything else you want on the level before that happens. Dang, that's a 1 in 12 chance, and it's happened 3 times. I just want to put that out. Keep pushing my luck, and it keeps pushing back. All right, we'll move here, do our attacks, and then we'll move away. Is that gonna be sufficient? Yeah, I think so. Move here, attack this guy enough, eliminate him, keeping track of these, and I'll show you why when we get to. If we get to that point. When we get to that point, I mean. And then move again further away. Now the enemies get 2 turns. One again, wow. The guy's so scared that he's just going into the vines. Now they take a second turn. Roll 2. Alright, now he's moving towards us. Changed his mind. Thankfully we didn't take any damage. Just surrounded again. Shuffle that up. Wow. I've got a special talent. This is unreal, man. This is unreal. You should have seen the times I was testing. I was like, is this game too easy? Like, maybe I need to amp it up for, to make the demonstration more interesting. Nope. This is one out of shape gorilla. He's getting exhausted with everything he does. But, well, we might as well take what we can get. So, damage first. Second. Well, damage this. Move. We haven't even drawn our banana either. We have a banana. I don't know if I covered that. It regains health. Not this time. Okay. Gotta remember that it's 2 turns. So, dang. Guys, we're gonna be in trouble. 2. Even he's in on it. Second turn, so this one attacks us, and we're almost defeated. So you can see that this does actually get quite challenging. Dang. I've never had it like this, man. I'll tell you that much. You gotta get a good roll. We're toast. No way. No way. Can't even move anywhere. The level 1, we're blocked. Well. Such is life with roguelikes, right? You die and then you retry. I'm gonna show you some other footage of me playing that's not utter fails, but this game's pretty fun. I like where it's at. I really like the art. You know, this is a big step up for me in terms of production value, so stick around. I might make more videos about this in the future, but I'm also gonna be trying to post at least once a week with new games, new prototypes to test and to show, and hopefully I'll be able to make some videos talking about my process as well. If you're still here, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share, and get ready for more board game content.